Welcome to the first episode of Studio 402 News, a show where we take a look at all the things going on around the Birdville Independent School District. I'm Wesley Ann.
And I'm Desmond. Thanks for joining us. Studio 402 is produced by the Advanced Video Production class at the Birdville Center of Technology and Advanced Learning. Birdville High School is working with a new system that allows students to use their phone as a hall pass. Tyler tells us what the school is hoping to accomplish with this system.
A lot of people need their restroom breaks, but some take advantage of that time. That's why Birdville High School has introduced an e-hall pass system.
The main purpose for the e-hall pass is to just reduce traffic in the hallways and really to allow our teachers to have an understanding of how often students are in the hall. Because for example, if one student was to ask to go to the bathroom in first period and then they go to second period and they ask to go to the bathroom, the second period teacher would have no idea if that student was already out first period. And then same thing, third, fourth, fifth. So ultimately, a student could ask to go leave class 7 times in one day, and the seventh period teacher wouldn't know if that student had already been out 6 times, that kind of thing. We went to several of our administration staff and myself went to a conference this summer in Austin, and that's where we saw a demonstration of the e-hall pass. And we talked to a few schools that were already using it, that had piloted it last year, and kind of talked to some of their principals and teachers, and they all had lots of good things to say about it.
The e-hall pass also gives another added layer of security and lets teachers know where students are in case of an emergency. With Studio 402 News, I'm Tyler Eastman.
The video game design class at the Birdville Center of Technology and Advanced Learning offers students a chance to learn the principles that will help them create the best-selling games and apps of tomorrow. The class is featuring a new look this year, and Ruby tells us all about it.
From right here in our building, the game design class has had some upgrades, and they now have the nicest hardware this department has ever seen. Here we have the teacher and a student in the class on the scene.
It allows us to go more in depth into 3D programs, specifically Unreal Engine 4, where in previous years we had focused solely on Unity and using 2D. These new machines allow us to delve more into the 3D game development. Okay, so the new equipment compared to last year, our previous computers were Dell Optiplex with no graphics cards whatsoever. So you can imagine you can't do any kind of graphics intensive work without the extra hardware. These new ones have more than enough to handle any 3D game out today, and even more so to actually run the games we're trying to make.
Anything with technology usually needs some sort of code in it, like a website or a game. All of that needs code to tell it how to function. That way I can make the computers do what I want. It should give us a lot more possibilities to do so much more. It's just a whole new field for us to play in. We're really excited to work with that. We're planning on making some pretty cool games with that.
Wow, I sure know more about this class than I did 2 minutes ago. And I'm so glad to have learned about this subject when I did. For Good Afternoon BISD, I'm Ruby Edmondson.
For this week's Studio Spotlight, we talked with an aerospace engineer who's worked on some of the most well-regarded aircraft flying today.
Brooke sits down with Julia Miller in the first part of our 2-part interview.
Welcome back. We are here with Julia Miller, and she's here to visit us in the studio. Hi.
Hello.
So, Mrs. Miller, can you explain what kind of occupation you have?
Yes, I'm an engineer at Lockheed Martin. I work on the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter.
That's impressive. Do you work on any specific parts for the fighter?
Yeah, so my job, I'm actually part of the flight test group. I work in integrated system evaluation, which is basically doing data analysis for all the flight tests.
So when it comes to the data, is it like data on how the jet is successfully takes off and functions?
Yeah, so there's different kinds of data when you talk about flight testing. There's flight sciences testing, which is all about loads and flutter and how the jet is actually performing flight-wise. And then there's mission systems testing, and mission systems is what my team is focused on. Mission systems is all about how the aircraft performs to complete a mission. So if they have to do an air-to-ground mission or an air-to-air kind of a mission, then it's how the jet is performing and making sure that the jet is giving the pilot everything that he or she needs to complete that mission.
Really impressive. So let me know if it's any confidential information, but do the fighters ever have to go to other countries like Syria or any other wars?
Yeah, so currently, so one thing about the F-35 is there's actually 3 U.S. customers as well as many international customers. So the 3 primary U.S. customers are the Air Force, the Marines, and the Navy. And there's actually 3 different specific variants that we make specifically for each of those 3 customers. And it's all based on how those customers take off and land. So the Air Force, they do everything from land bases, and so they have nice long runways, and so we call that a conventional takeoff and landing. The Marines, they often operate from austere locations or even from ships, and so they have what we call the STOVL. It's the short takeoff vertical landing. Okay. And then the Navy operates from carriers, so we have the carrier variant for them. So currently, all 3 of the U.S. services are IOC, which is initial operating capability, basically stating that they've all certified the jet capable to go into battle. Additionally, a couple of other international customers have also declared IOC. So Israel has some in country, and they have put their jets to use over there in the Middle East. I can't think of who else. There are a few others. Italy has some in country. Norway should be getting some soon. So it is a global aircraft right now.
That is amazing. Do you actually get to meet other generals or even the president?
No, so I've never met the president, but the president of our corporation, the president of Lockheed Martin, she has. Her name is Marilyn Hewson. She's met the president several times to talk about progress on the F-35 as well as other products that Lockheed Martin builds. And the president actually just recently this year had some F-35s on display on the White House front lawn. Yeah.
That's amazing. So how long have you been doing this?
Oh, I've been at Lockheed for 16 years now. So right after I graduated college, I started working there. I actually first started working on the F-16 program. I was on that for about 1.5 to 2 years as a structural designer. And then I moved to F-35, and I first started as a structural designer and then moved into flight test data.
That is really cool. So did you ever get the opportunity to actually meet other soldiers who flew the jets?
Oh yes. So we have a lot of pilots, former Air Force, Marines, Navy, who have retired from active duty, and they come to work at Lockheed Martin because they still care very much about the warfighter, just like the rest of us do, and they want to build the best possible product that we can to make sure that all the pilots can go out, do their mission, and come home safely. So we have a lot of pilots that work at Lockheed Martin. We interact with them all the time. We have some that run simulations because we have lots of labs and simulations where we do some lab testing. We also have foreign customer pilots come to our simulators, and we run large events for them so that they can do 4-ship and 8-ship, we call them ships. But 4 aircraft or 8 aircraft all at a time going against, blue force versus red force kind of operations, all in a simulated environment. And so we do that with U.S. pilots and foreign pilots, and so we do get to interact with the pilots a lot, which is great, especially for, when I'm interested in looking at the flight test data. We're very interested in what the pilots think of the aircraft and how it's performing for them. I mean, there's one thing when the data says, that everything's performing as designed, but when the pilot says, that's still not what we really want or what we really need, then we can make design changes based on their opinions.
All right, great. Thank you very much. We will be back soon to ask more questions to Julia Miller. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Brooke. Look for our part 2 in our next episode. Stephen King's It hit movie screens in 2017 and soon became the highest grossing horror film of all time. It Chapter 2 recently came to theaters, and Desmond has a closer look.
We made an oath.
Swear? If it isn't dead, if it ever comes back, we'll come back to it.
We didn't stop it.
Pennywise. The clown.
It Chapter 2 will float into theaters this weekend, September 6th. It Chapter 2 is the sequel to the highly beloved predecessor, It 2017. This terrifying franchise follows the Losers Club, a group of misfits who take on their past traumas and defeat their greatest fears. The members of the Losers Club, who are now adults, will reunite to conquer their childhood fears once and for all. While the original cast of the Losers Club will return in flashbacks in It Chapter 2, the children of the Losers Club have been recast as adults. This new cast includes stars such as Bill Hader and James McAvoy. Bill Skarsgård will reclaim his role as the disturbing, unsettling killer clown Pennywise, who has reawakened from his hibernation to torment the citizens of Derry. After being defeated by the children in the first movie, Pennywise has returned with a thirst for losers' blood.
For 27 years, I dreamt of you. I craved you. I missed you.
I'm Desmond Frazier. See you losers next weekend.
Homecoming is really prep, it's kind of like peppy. You're supposed to be all into it. There's a dress-up day every day, so everyone gets involved. I think it's not just about football. I think it's about the whole school banding together, to do this tradition that Southern States do.
All of Richland's extracurricular activities participate in the parade, including JORTC, football, band, and cheer.
Being in band during HOCO week is actually a lot of fun. It's very tiring though. We play literally at almost everything. The parade, it was an hour and a half, and we played the entire time, and we're screaming.
After the event, everyone moves to the football field to celebrate more in a pep rally.
My favorite part would be getting to just give candy to the little kids and seeing my little sister at the end.
As the event comes to a close, Richland Band will play the alma mater. From Studio 402 News, I'm Tyler Stone. Back to you guys.
The Haltom Herders bring spirit, pride, and enthusiasm to the Haltom High sports experience. Our own Wesley Ann spoke to the members of the team to find out what being a herder is all about.
My name is Wesley Ann Lawson, and today we're going to take an inside look on how our student body perceives a Haltom High School herder. Let's take a look. Herder sponsor Enrique Garza is here to talk about what exactly a herder is.
Herder is the spirit of Haltom High School. It's a group of leaders that have come together for this organization, and they basically represent everything that Haltom is, all the positive, and they lead everything that is school spirit for Haltom High School.
Veteran herder Adriana Castellan has a few words about the friendships made in herders.
We make really good friendships with people. If it wasn't for herders, I probably wouldn't be friends with Beth, or I probably wouldn't be friends with Caitlin. And honestly, I'm probably still going to talk to them while we're both away at college.
I've always wanted to help out with these organizations because you get to work with kids who the school just means so much to them, and everything that they do, they bring the positiveness to our campus.
Yeah. Student spectator Josh Vidal speaks on his perspective on how herders contribute to the crowd.
People start cheering, and then everyone gets excited, everyone gets riled up, and then it just becomes a fun little thing that happens.
My freshman year, whenever I tried out, I was that looks super fun, and I really wanted to be a part of it, especially because of I knew how much of a family the herders are, and yeah, so I tried out.
Whenever I see a herder, cheering at me or cheering in my direction, I feel like I need to just cheer along. Like it's just, I feel like it's like not like oh, I have to sing like chant along. It's like oh, I need to chant along. It's like I have to because I should be.
Proud to say that the Buffaloes won against Pascal Panthers 42-14. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Wesley Ann Lawson, and let's get back to the news.
So my favorite way to eat the Pop-Tart is straight out of the package with a glass of soy milk. What about you?
That's kind of weird. I like to eat a Pop-Tart without taking off the package, dipped in a warm glass of honey.
Great. All right. For the question of the week, we asked viewers, what's the best Pop-Tarts flavor?
Grayson took to the halls of the Bechtel to find out what people have to say about the breakfast classic.
Hi, I'm Grayson Lippies, and today we're going out asking people what their favorite flavor of Pop-Tarts are. We're asking people, what is your favorite flavor of Pop-Tart?
Strawberry. Raspberry. Raspberry.
Chocolate.
S'mores.
S'mores. Blueberry.
What is your favorite flavor of Pop-Tart?
Probably just original strawberry.
We have a question for you. What is your favorite flavor of Pop-Tart?
Strawberry.
Strawberry, let's go. We have a question for you. What is your favorite flavor of Pop-Tart?
Strawberry. Strawberry.
I'm Grayson Lippies with Studio 402 News, and we'll see you next time.
Let's take a look at our poll results.
Strawberry wins, followed closely by brown sugar cinnamon. For our next poll question, we're asking what's the best season. To vote, head to twitter.com/BISD-TV.
We'll be right back.
I'm Luke Robinson from Studio 402. Recently, the Birdville Hawks took on Little Elm High School in a very close Thursday night matchup, which resulted in a Birdville Hawks 14-12 victory, which puts them 2-0 on their season.
This is a big win because we had a good win last week. Now this puts us 2-0. One more non-district game left to play, so it gives us good confidence going into district play. I think we played physical. Kids played hard. They tackled. They wrapped up. They had a few moments of adversity. They didn't quit. They kept playing hard, and they rooted for each other. Kids were pulling to each other and being good teammates. I think at the very end, they scored with just a few seconds left, and they went for two. We had a big stop to keep us from tying the game and seal the victory.
Thank you for tuning to the Birdville's freshman football team highlights. I'm Luke Robinson from Studio 402. Y'all have a nice day.
You know, Studio 402's news has really become a home for me, and I hope you as viewers can enjoy it as well. Go and hit that like and subscribe button. What do you think, Wesley Ann?
I think that's pretty good. All right, that's it for our first episode of Studio 402 News. Thanks for watching. I'm Wesley Ann.
And I'm Desmond. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend.
Over it.